two people decided to have sex together. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I don't know why it's controversial or it's bad to talk about it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Gladys on Love. Now, living here in the Philippines, where there's a lot of stigma around the topic of sexuality, it's pretty hard for me to express myself in that way and understand it better. So when I reached a point in my life where I decided to go on my way and really learn more about this and experience how powerful and healing it can be for myself to understand my sexuality better, how it helps me to grow as an individual and to also experience a more alive relationship within my partner. I made it as a commitment and dedicate myself to really sharing all the learnings that I have and hopefully educate people here in the Philippines and hopefully people all over the world on how we can embrace sexuality and how we can make this topic not controversial at all. Because again, we are born because two people decided to have sex together. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I don't know why it's controversial or it's bad to talk about it. So here I am with another topic of how we can explore sexuality and different kinks and how it can be so healing and would allow us to thrive as an individual and improve the quality of our relationship. I listed down here several kinks that you might have, and you are in this place of feeling so negative about it. And these are exhibitionism, voyeurism, being submissive, being dominant, doing a role play, or using toys inside the bedroom. Now, the negative commonality of these kinks is that society actually labeled this as bad. And that if you are someone who falls under this category, that there's something wrong with you. And I think that is the stigma that I really want to debunk because I personally have touched on all of these different kinks, and I personally experienced the feeling of healing and better understanding of myself when I was able to do it, experience it, perform it consciously. And that is something that I want to share right now. So let's talk about exhibitionism. So, exhibitionism is someone who gets that sexual pleasure when they are showing themselves or exposing themselves in the eyes of other people. And again, people would think that there's something wrong with that person. I see it as a complete courageous act. And I also see it as a vulnerable where you are actually expressing yourself authentically and showing off yourself. And there's also a hint of confidence there that you want to be watched. And that's so powerful. And I think for someone who perform or being an exhibitionist, you are able to release that shame, be vulnerable, be your authentic self, and really have the courage and confidence to show off is such an amazing thing. And I refuse to accept that it is a bad thing or that something's wrong in doing this kind of act. Unless, of course, if it's not consensual or you're doing it and it offend other people, then that's a totally different story. Now, let's talk about the voyeurism. For someone who is a voyeur, there's again, as I've said, the commonality is that something's wrong with you. However, I personally see it as for you who actually admire someone when you watch them, hold space for them, you appreciate the person or couple, or maybe if you're in a group setting, you appreciate what you see, like people expressing themselves, and you as the watcher being able to enjoy it and accept it and embrace it. That's so beautiful. And again, our society label it as bad when the act of voyeurism actually allows to release the judgment, being able to hold space for people to be themselves and to show appreciation and admiration to these people that you're watching. So, for all of you who are a voyeur and enjoying, there's nothing wrong with you. Again, as long as it's done consensually and you are not like drilling hole in your neighbor's house and like watching them uh, without them knowing, then that's a totally different story. And I think that's the part of the voyeurism that I think is bad. And that is why it's so important to be able to know ourselves and to understand ourselves and our need, and where is that sexual desire coming from, and how can we explore it in a more healthy way so that we can reclaim the beauty and the power of having the ability of watching someone being pleased and having the pleasure. Now, down to our other kink, which is being submissive. Filipinos are known to be submissive women, and I think it attracts a lot of men from Western country to be partnered with Filipino women, particularly because, again, we're very submissive. And the idea of people, if you're a submissive person, you're agreeable. You just agree with things that your partner wants you to do. But actually, being submissive is not just being agreeable. Being submissive is you trusting your partner. And that's why you are submitting yourself to them. You're in your full surrender. You let go of your control because you trust that your partner will take care of you. And this is such a beautiful way for couple to be in that intimate moment when someone is being fully trusting and really committing and surrendering themselves with you. So, this kind of play is something I personally love to do. And it's such a good feeling when you're in that moment. Now, on the other hand, we have the dominant person, and society thinks that if you're a dominant, it's all about inflicting pain, it's all about taking control. But actually, being dominant is such a beautiful way to express yourself as a servant leader, really being in service for the submissive, being the one who lead and take charge of the experience, for the sub to be in her complete surrender and bliss. And I think there's such a beautiful dynamic for the submissive dominant kink to come into place in a relationship. And when it's done consciously, it can create such a powerful, strong bond and creates that strong commitment between two partners. So this is actually one of my favorite thing when I'm in my submissive state, when I'm making love with my partner. And I also like to be in the dominant position where I lead and take charge, and I want my partner to just relax and receive all the bliss and beauty that I can provide. It's just so powerful. Now, last but not the least would be role plays and also bringing in toys inside the bedroom. A lot of couples and the society are labeling it again as a bad thing. And I think we need to now start being more open in doing these things, because doing role plays and even incorporating toys in the bedroom, it opens up a more playful setting in the relationship, and it allows the relationship to have more curiosity and openness between couples. Those are the aspect of kinks that I would love to share. I hope that you enjoy it, and hopefully you were able to learn a thing or two from this topic. And really, my main goal is to just show a different aspect, a different perspective, comparing it to the negative perspective of the society. Like, how about looking it in a different lens? How about looking it in a different way? And instead of labeling it as bad, why don't we try and allow ourselves to be more curious and see the positive impact of actually exploring and doing these different kinks? So that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video, and have a beautiful day. Mwah.